Hey guys, tonight we are heading to Xylos, a newly charted Class M planet that's frankly a bit out of the way. We're not here for the beaches, we're here for the dark. The preliminary survey mentioned a vast, uncharted cave system, and the one garbled report we got back before the drone went offline mentioned glowing. We're going to land our shuttle, trek to the coordinates of the cave mouth, and see if the rumors of a self-illuminating underworld are true. Given that the drone costs more than a small car, and it just vanished, you probably won't survive this. Or, at the very least, you'll get your boots very, very muddy. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. I always love to see where in the world you're all listening from, so feel free to post your location and local time in the comments. Now turn off the lights, lie down, and drift together in the mysterious space. The landing is less of a landing and more of a controlled impact. Your rental shuttle, the Stellar Albatross, a name that promises a majestic glide but delivers all the aerodynamic finesse of a dropped toolbox, slams onto the planet's surface with a groan of stressed metal that rattles your teeth. The engines, which have been screaming in protest for the last 10 minutes, wind down into a sulky grumble. And then, silence. A deep, profound silence. You sit in the dark cockpit for a moment, the only sound being the metallic tink, tink, of the hull cooling in the alien atmosphere. You unbuckle the harness, the one with the slightly sticky release latch, and feel the lightness. The gravity here is about 85% of standard. It's not enough to make you float, but just enough to make you feel vaguely athletic, like you could almost jump over a tall fence. You hit the ramp pressure seal. With a long, satisfying hiss, the ramp descends, dumping a cloud of steam onto the ground. You step out, and the air hits you. It's not the sterile, recycled air of the shuttle. It's alive. It smells of ozone, damp rock, and something surprisingly sweet, like jasmine after a rainstorm. It's a definite improvement over the Albatross's interior, which had a lingering aroma of old socks and a forgotten protein bar. You're standing on a carpet of deep, dark red moss. It's springy under your boots, making a soft whoomp with every step. You look up. The sky is a deep, bruised purple. Two suns, one a pale yellow, and the other a dim red dwarf, are sinking toward the horizon, casting long, surreal, double shadows. Your objective is a dark line in a sheer cliff face about 2 kilometers to the north. Your pack feels light on your back, loaded with a water filter, nutrient bars, and a backup torch, just in case this glowing thing is a bust. You begin walking. The local trees are tall, pale, leafless stalks that look like giant asparagus, and they sway gently in a breeze you can't feel. You check your high-tech compass, a simple glowing needle on your wrist. It's easy. It makes you think about the old explorers on Earth, the ones who first crossed the oceans. For centuries, they had a decent way to find their latitude, their north-south position, using the sun and stars. But longitude, their east-west position, was a complete mystery. It was pure, terrifying guesswork. It wasn't until the 1760s, when a brilliant, self-taught carpenter named John Harrison finally perfected his H4 marine chronometer, a clock that could keep perfect time at sea, that captains could finally, reliably, figure out where they were. Before that, you just sailed and prayed you wouldn't crash into a continent you didn't know was there. The twin suns are still warm, and you're glad for your suit's UV filter. It's certainly more advanced than ancient solutions. You remember reading that the ancient Egyptians, who were masters of many things, had an early form of sunscreen. They used a mix of rice bran, jasmine, that smell again, and, according to some texts, finely ground crocodile dung. Yes, crocodile dung, a topical cream that not only protected you from the sun, but also guaranteed you would have plenty of personal space at the beach. You continue your trek, the thwomp, thwomp of your boots on the moss, the only sound, besides a high-pitched, crystalline trill from some unseen insect. You pass a strange, small ring of dark, standing stones. They look deliberate. It reminds you of Stonehenge. Historians still argue whether Stonehenge was a complex astronomical calendar, a sacred healing center drawing pilgrims from all over Europe, or a dynastic burial ground for Neolithic royalty. Or maybe it was just a really, really ambitious art project that got horribly out of hand. You don't stop to investigate. You have a date with a cave. As the last sliver of the red dwarf sun dips below the horizon, the darkness is immediate. There is no gentle twilight here. The light just switches off. You are plunged into a profound, alien night. But you are not blind. Up ahead, from that dark slit in the cliff face, a faint, sickly green glow is emerging. It's not a spotlight. It's seeping from the rock itself. You get closer, your footsteps slowing. The air is cooler here. You're standing at the entrance. It's not a grand cathedral, just a jagged, uneven crack in the rock, about 3 meters high and wide enough for your shuttle. A cool, damp breath flows out from it, carrying that scent of jasmine, wet stone, and deep, ancient earth. You flick on your head torch. The powerful beam shoots out and is swallowed. It illuminates the first 2 feet of rock, and then nothing. The darkness in there is absolute, absorbing the light. You switch it off. The green glow from within, though faint, is now your only guide. It seems to pulse very, very slowly. You take a deep breath of the jasmine air, adjust your pack, and step out of the starlight and into the living dark. You step across the threshold, and the world changes. The faint, alien breeze stops. The high-pitched trill of the night insects is sliced off, as if by a closing door. The air inside is still, cool, and thick with humidity. It clings to your face and the exposed skin on your neck. The silence is profound, broken only by the scuff of your boots on the stone floor and the surprisingly loud, echoey plink, plonk of a single drop of water falling from the high, unseen ceiling. You are in a narrow tunnel, and the walls are alive. The green glow you saw from outside is everywhere. It's not the rock itself, but a thin, velvety carpet of moss clinging to every surface. It's an ecosystem of light. As your eyes adjust, you see it's not just one type of fungus. Sprouting from the moss are delicate, branching structures that look like white coral, each tiny branchlet pulsing with a soft, emerald light. In another patch, long, delicate strands like beaded curtains hang from the ceiling, each bead a tiny glowing pearl. You lean close to the wall, your face inches from a patch of the glowing moss. It smells strange, like damp earth and ozone, but with a sharp, vinegary undertone. You tap it with a gloved finger. The moss is cool and firm, like dense velvet, and the light in the patch you touched flares, pulsing brighter for a second, before settling back into its slow, hypnotic rhythm. This entire cave is a single, slow-moving, biological computer, and you just poked it in the eye. You follow the glowing passage as it winds deeper into the planet. The glow is more than enough to see by, casting soft, green, dancing shadows. It's beautiful, and a little unnerving. You're walking inside a creature's digestive tract, maybe. Let's hope not. The tunnel begins to open up, and the air changes. The cool, damp, vinegary smell is fading, replaced by something new, a warmth, a dry warmth, and a different scent. It smells rich, earthy, like dry autumn leaves, in a faint, sweet hint of cinnamon. The green glow of the moss is being overpowered by a new light source ahead, a deep, warm, amber light. You step out of the narrow tunnel and into a cavern so vast, your light-adjusted eyes can't find the ceiling. You are standing on the edge of a forest of mushrooms, but these are not the small, delicate fungi of the tunnel. These are colossal, thick, pale stems, wider than you are tall, rise from the cavern floor like the pillars of an ancient temple. They soar upwards, 50, maybe 60 feet, before flaring out into massive, umbrella-like caps, each one as wide as a small house. And from the underside of these caps, the warm, amber light pulses. It's a slow, deep hypnotic rhythm, like 100 giant, sleeping hearts. The entire grove is breathing light. The ground here isn't rock. It's a soft, springy carpet of what looks like reddish-brown pine needles, shed from the giants. Your footsteps are completely muffled. You walk among them, a tiny figure in a land of giants. The air is warm and still. You reach out and touch one of the massive stems. The bark is rough and fibrous, like petrified wood, but it's warm. You can feel a faint, low vibration thrumming through it. The pulse of the light. It's incredible. On Earth, the largest known living thing is also a fungus, nicknamed the humongous fungus. It's a single Armillaria ostoye organism in Oregon, a vast underground mycelial network covering nearly 4 square miles. This is what happens when that organism decides to sprout. You're just an ant in its garden. You wonder if it knows you're here. You half expect one of them to lean down and ask you for a cup of sugar in a very slow, deep, booming voice. This place feels impossibly old. It's so quiet, a deep, resonant silence that you feel in your chest. It's the kind of quiet that makes you aware of your own heartbeat. You find your breathing slowing, trying to match the slow, amber pulse of the grove. It's the perfect place for a nap. But you're an explorer. You move on. This whole kingdom of fungi, it's a reminder of how weird life is. For centuries on Earth, fungi were classified as plants. It's only relatively recently that we realized they are, in fact, an entirely separate kingdom. Biologists and mycologists now agree that fungi are, at a genetic level, more closely related to animals, to you and me, than they are to plants. So in a way, this is a family reunion. Your weird, giant, glowing mushroom cousins. You pass through the grove, the warm, comforting, cinnamon-scented air, a stark contrast to the damp chill of the entrance. It's so peaceful. It makes you think of some of the stranger theories about our own origins. You remember reading about the stoned ape hypothesis. It's a very fringe idea, suggesting that our ape-like ancestors stumbled across psilocybin mushrooms on the African plains, and that eating them was the chemical catalyst that kick-started human consciousness, language, and art. It's a wild, mostly unproven theory, of course, but standing here in a forest of impossible, ancient, and deeply conscious-feeling mushrooms, it doesn't seem that crazy. You decide not to lick anything. Remember the crocodile dung sunscreen? Ancient wisdom is selective. Best to just look. On the far side of the massive grove, you see the path continue. A new, darker tunnel leading out of the warmth and back into the unknown. You step out of the amber grove, and the warmth is sliced away. You're back in the cool, neutral temperature darkness, a narrow tunnel of bare, damp stone. The rich, earthy, cinnamon scent of the giant mushrooms vanishes, replaced instantly by a sharp, clean, mineral smell. The smell of ozone and wet rock. For a moment, you are in absolute, total darkness. The glowing moss from the entrance hasn't made a comeback here. You're standing perfectly still, letting your eyes adjust. But there's nothing to adjust to. There is no light, but there is sound. It was completely masked by the profound, thrumming silence of the mushroom grove. But now you hear it. It's a low, constant shushing, a white noise, the sound of moving water. It's coming from ahead, deeper in the tunnel. You take a cautious step forward, your hand on the damp, cold wall. The sound grows louder, clearer. It's not the plink of a drip, but the steady, large-scale sound of a river. You follow the sound, your footsteps echoing slightly in the narrow passage. The floor is level, but it feels like it's sloping gently downward. The tunnel begins to widen, the ceiling pulling up and away from you. The mineral smell is getting stronger, and you can feel a cool, damp breeze on your face. And then you see it. The tunnel opens out into a massive cavern, and crossing it from left to right is a river. It's wide, perhaps 20 meters across, and it's flowing with a calm, steady current. But that's not the miracle. The miracle is that the river itself is glowing. It's not reflecting light from anywhere. It is the source of the light. It's a pale, milky, ethereal blue-white light, and it illuminates the entire, vast cavern. The high, vaulted ceiling is visible now, catching the rippling, moving reflections from the water. The river slides by with a gentle, hypnotic shush, its surface unbroken. It's as if someone found a way to make moonlight liquid. It's beautiful, and it's also a bit like someone dumped a 1,000,000-gallon drum of glow stick fluid upstream. You walk to the river's edge. The bank is a fine, dark sand that's cool and damp under your boots. You kneel down. The light is definitely coming from within the water. You scoop up a handful. The water in your palm is a captured puddle of light, glowing with that same soft, blue luminescence before it trickles through your gloved fingers, each drop hitting the sand with a tiny, shining splash. You stare into the current. You can see them now. It's not the water. It's life. Billions upon billions of tiny, microscopic organisms, like infinitesimal plankton, each one a pinpoint of blue light, all swept along in the current. You are looking at a living, flowing galaxy. You pull out your scanner, but you don't really need it. It's obvious. This is a self-contained ecosystem. The scanner just confirms it. Massive concentration of unknown, single-celled, bioluminescent organisms. Classification, pending. Threat level, negligible, probably. That probably is just so reassuring on rental-grade tech. You've gone from a world lit by glowing fungus to a world lit by glowing microbes. This planet really hates paying its electric bill. You stand up and begin to walk along the sandy bank, following the river's flow. It's a perfect, illuminated highway. The light it casts is gentle, rippling, and constantly moving, making the shadows on the cavern walls dance. It's so peaceful. This river, it's a marvel of natural engineering. It makes you think of the ancient Romans in their obsession with moving water. They built aqueducts that were masterpieces of precision. The famous Pont du Gard in France, for example, is part of an aqueduct system that carried water over 50 kilometers. The The truly mind-boggling part is its gradient. Over that entire 50-kilometer or 31-mile length, it drops a total of only 17 meters or about 56 feet. That's a slope so gentle it's almost invisible. Yet it was perfectly calculated to keep the water moving without stagnating or flowing too fast. And here, Xylos has a system that not only transports water, but illuminates itself. The Romans would have loved this. You continue walking. The soft crunch of your boots in the sand, in the shush of the river, the only sounds. It's meditative. It's easy to forget you're millions of miles from home, deep underground on an alien world. It just feels right, calm. You wonder where all this water comes from. It's a big question, even back on Earth. Scientists still debate whether Earth's vast oceans were degassed from the planet's mantle as it cooled, literally, water vapor steaming out of the cooling rock, or if they were delivered, bit by bit, over eons, by a constant bombardment of ice-rich comets and asteroids. Did the water come from the rock or to the rock? Looking at this river, flowing so deep inside the rock, it feels like the two are part of the same ancient, inseparable process. You're so busy admiring the view, you almost trip over a stick, a strange, Y-shaped, forked branch lying on the sand, bleached white, or maybe not bleached, maybe it's just pale. It's probably just a piece of some long-dead, non-glowing root. But it immediately makes you think of dowsing, the ancient and very fringe practice of water witching, the belief that a person, a dowser, can hold a forked stick or sometimes a pendulum or brass rods, and it will twitch or dip when they walk over a source of hidden underground water. It's been around for centuries, and despite science finding zero evidence for it, you can still find people today who will swear by it, hiring dowsers to find the best place to dig a well. It's pure folk magic. But you're in a cave, following a glowing river of impossible life. Who are you to judge? You give the stick a little nudge with your boot. It doesn't move. You leave it. Your glowing river is a better guide. The river is your companion now, a steady, calming, shining presence at your side. You follow its gentle curve as it bends to the right, leading you away from the mushroom grove and deeper into the planet's crust. The air is cool and fresh, pushed along by the water. Up ahead, the river seems to empty into a large, dark, still-looking lake. But the walls are starting to do something new. They're sparkling. You follow the glowing blue river as its current slows, and the cavern widens dramatically. The gentle shushing sound fades into a deep, echoing silence, the water spreading out and becoming still. You're standing on the sandy bank of what seems to be a large, perfectly circular, subterranean lake. But the lake isn't the miracle here. The walls are. The sparkling you saw from the tunnel. It's the entire cavern, from the edge of the water to the high, domed ceiling. Every square inch of the rock is covered in crystals. You're not in a cave. You're standing inside a colossal, split-open geode, and the crystals are massive. They're not the tiny, sugary quartz you'd find in a gift shop. These are sharp, angular structures, the size of your arm, your leg. Some are as tall as you are. They're a deep, dark, amethyst purple. But the most incredible part is the light. The blue glowing river plankton are the catalyst. The water from the river pools here, and the billions of blue lights are absorbed by the crystals. And the crystals, they re-emit the light. They're fluorescent. They're taking that cool blue and transforming it releasing it as a deep, rich, indigo-purple glow. The entire massive chamber is filled with this soft, royal, sleepy light. It's like standing in a cathedral made of a frozen, purple sunset. It's so opulent, you half expect a bouncer in a velvet suit to step out and ask you for a cover charge. This is advanced physics, happening by accident. It reminds you of one of the most mysterious objects from the ancient world, the Lycurgus cup. It's a 4th century Roman glass cage cup, and it's a perfect piece of ancient nanotechnology. In normal, reflected light, the cup looks a flat, opaque green. But when you shine a light through it, it glows a brilliant, translucent red. It took modern science to figure out why. The glassmaker had somehow impregnated the glass with gold and silver nanoparticles, particles so small they change the very properties of light. The Romans, by accident or design, had created dichroic glass. This cavern is a planet-sized Lycurgus cup, absorbing the blue light of the river and, through its own alien mineral nanoparticles, turning it into this breathtaking indigo. You step away from the water's edge. The floor here isn't sand. It's a carpet of smaller, crushed crystal fragments that crunch under your boots with a high-pitched, delicate, tinkling sound. Every step is an act of vandalism, but you can't exactly float. You walk toward the far wall, drawn deeper into the purple haze. The air is still and cool, and smells of ozone and something you can only describe as clean, like the air after a lightning strike. As you get closer to the wall, you see that it's not a uniform wall of crystals. There are patches, flat, smooth, dark patches of the original basalt rock, framed by the giant purple clusters. And on one of these patches, you stop. You're staring at carvings. They are not scratches. They are not crude paintings. They are precise, intricate, deliberate. An enormous panel, 10 meters wide and 5 high, is covered in a complex, geometric pattern. It's a tapestry of interlocking hexagons, precise spirals, and straight lines connecting points that seem to have no obvious relationship. It's not writing, not as you understand it. It's not pictures of animals or people. It looks like a circuit diagram, a schematic, a blueprint for something impossibly complex. The lines are so fine, so perfect. You try to find a Rosetta Stone in the corner, maybe a simple 1 + 1 = 2, or a "you are here" dot, nothing. It is utterly, beautifully, incomprehensibly alien. It looks like the most complicated Wi-Fi password in the history of the universe. You run your gloved hand over the surface. The lines are deep, about a centimeter, and perfectly smooth. Not chipped, but burned, melted, etched with some kind of acid. Who or what made this? The moss? The giant mushrooms? Or something else? Something that visited this cave, this perfect, purple, crystal cathedral. Archaeologists still argue whether the thousands of petroglyphs found on Earth, the mysterious spiral designs in Ireland, the Wandjina figures in Australia, are records of shamanic trances, star maps, or simply art. But this feels different. This feels like information. It reminds you of those fringe, pseudoscientific stories about crop circles, the strange, impossibly complex geometric patterns that appear overnight in fields of wheat or corn. While almost all are proven to be clever hoaxes, the sheer mathematical complexity of a few and the fact that the stalks are bent, not broken, keeps a very small, very hopeful community convinced that their messages. This carving has that same feeling. That same, not made by human hands, precision. You're trying to make sense of the pattern. Is it a map of this cave system? A chemical formula for the glowing plankton? A religious text? It's as opaque as the motivations of the ancient Egyptians. We think we understand their hieroglyphs, but we're still guessing at their beliefs. Why the crocodile dung sunscreen? Was it really for the sun, or some forgotten ritual? This wall feels the same, a message you can see, but cannot, for the life of you, read. You can't find a single live, laugh, love carving anywhere. Whoever made this was not into inspirational quotes. You stand there for a long time, just looking, tracing the lines with your eyes. The purple light of the cavern seems to pulse in time with your heartbeat. It's beautiful and cold. This is a cathedral, but it has no warmth. You're starting to feel the chill. The central pool, where the river gathers, seems to drain out through a small, dark, underwater fissure on the far side. But you see another exit, a new, dry tunnel. Leading out of this geode, it's dark, but as you listen, you can hear a new sound, faint but growing. It's not the shush of the river, it's a roar, a low, distant, powerful roar, the sound of a waterfall. You pull yourself away from the alien blueprint and walk toward the new, dark archway. You step out of the purple geode, leaving the silent, alien schematic behind. The tunnel is dark again, the high tinkling of your boots on the crystal fragments replaced by the soft, dull thud of your boots on damp, solid rock. The roar is much louder now. It's not a violent, crashing sound, but a deep, steady, bass-heavy thrum. It's the kind of sound you feel in your chest. The air is no longer still. A powerful, damp, clean wind is blowing out of the tunnel, pushing against you, heavy with mist. You can feel the fine, cool spray on your face. You're walking toward the source, guided entirely by the sound. The tunnel makes one sharp, final bend, and you step out into a new chamber. The sound is immense, a perfect, thunderous white noise. Before you, on the far side of a wide, circular chamber, is the waterfall, a massive, solid column of water, at least 10 meters wide, plunges from a high, dark opening in the ceiling, falling 100 feet into a deep, wide, turbulent pool. The mist is so thick, it's like a rainstorm, swirling in the enclosed space. But the most incredible part, the waterfall is glowing. It's not the emerald green of the moss or the plankton blue of the river. This is a soft, warm, golden light. The water itself seems to shine with its own, gentle, inner warmth. You walk to the edge of the pool. The water is hot. Steam is rising from the surface, mixing with the cool mist, making the entire chamber feel like a giant, natural sauna. This is a geothermal hot spring. The planet's core is heating this water, and the glow is from an entirely new kind of life. Thermophils, microscopic organisms that thrive in extreme heat, and as a byproduct, they create this beautiful, soft, golden light. This is the planet's power plant. You're standing in a natural spa, one that provides its own light, its own heat, and its own soundtrack. It's just missing a gift shop selling overpriced, vaguely spiritual rocks. It's magnificent. It makes you think of the ancient Romans in their obsession with baths. At the town of Bath, in England, they found a natural hot spring and built one of the most complex, beautiful bathing and temple complexes in the ancient world. They believed the springs, which they didn't understand, were a direct gift from the goddess Sulis Minerva. It was a place of healing, but also of curses. Archaeologists have found hundreds of curse tablets there, little lead scrolls tossed into the spring, where citizens asked the goddess to inflict horrible punishments on people who had stolen their property. "I curse him who has stolen my cloak," one reads. "Whether man or woman, slave or free, may he not be able to sleep or live." Historians still argue whether the Romans saw these hot springs purely as medicinal and hygienic, or if the healing was inextricably linked to this act of worship, magic, and supernatural revenge. You just want a place to sit down. The chamber itself is damp, the walls slick with mist. Not ideal for a nap, but as you scan the room, your eyes, now accustomed to the golden light, see something. Back near the tunnel you just exited, about 10 feet up the wall, there's an alcove, a shallow, oval-shaped depression in the rock, a kind of cave within a cave. It looks dry. You scramble up the easy, natural incline of the rock. You pull yourself into the hollow. It's perfect. It's a shallow depression, maybe 10 feet wide and 6 feet deep, completely shielded from the mist of the waterfall. In the floor, it's not bare rock. It's covered in a thick, plush, 3-inch deep carpet of moss. But it's not the glowing green damp moss from the entrance. This is a different species. It's a deep, rich brown, and it is completely, perfectly dry, fed by the constant, warm humidity. You press your hand into it. It's as soft as the most expensive memory foam. And it's warm. The geothermal heat of the planet is seeping through the rock. It's a natural, heated bed. This is the luxury suite. You half expect to find a tiny, folded chocolate on the pillow. The missing survey drone probably just found this spot, sent back a signal lost message, and powered down. It's not missing. It's retired. This is the end of the line. The journey is over. You're reminded of all the fringe seekers on Earth, the New Age travelers who hunt for vortexes, places like Sedona, Arizona, where they believe spiritual or telluric energy is concentrated and amplified. It's a quirky idea, the belief that the Earth has energy lines you can tap into for healing or enlightenment. But lying here, in this dry, warm, mossy hollow, feeling the gentle heat of the planet seep into your bones, listening to the golden, glowing waterfall roar. If a vortex exists, this is it. You shrug off your pack, placing it in the corner. You sit down, and then you lie back. The warm, dry moss contours perfectly to your body. You're looking out from your safe, elevated perch. The view is dreamlike. You're watching the massive, golden, glowing waterfall thunder into its pool, all seen through a gentle, swirling mist. The deep, constant roar is a blanket of sound, drowning out all thought, all worry. The purple light from the geode chamber you left behind is still visible, its faint, indigo glow spilling out of the tunnel, and it mixes with the golden light of the waterfall. The steam in the air catches both, swirling them together. You are watching a silent, slow-motion light show of lavender and gold. It is, you decide, the most relaxing and safest place in the entire galaxy. You're glad you didn't have to use that crocodile dung sunscreen after all. This is a much better way to relax. You can feel the tension leaving your shoulders, your back, your mind. You are safe. You are warm. The air is clean, and the sound is constant. You close your eyes, just for a moment, but you can still see the soft, golden light through your eyelids. The deep, steady roar of the water is a lullaby. It is the sound of a planet, breathing in its sleep. You can let go now. There is nowhere else to go, no one to find, nothing to discover. There is only this hollow, this warmth, this sound. You are lying back on the softest, warmest moss in a secret cave. millions of miles from everything. The air is warm and clean. The sound of the golden waterfall is a heavy, comforting blanket, a deep and constant hum that is pulling you down, down, into a soft and peaceful sleep. The journey is over. The cave is holding you. The planet is keeping you safe. You can just drift. Let the sound carry you. Let the warmth comfort you. There is nothing to worry about, nothing to fear, just rest. The purple crystals, the amber mushrooms, the golden water, they are all just parts of the dream you are now gently and safely falling into. It is time to sleep, time to drift. Sweet dreams.